Alright guys, so I want to talk about some current events. It's not something that I would normally talk about, but considering what day it is, I think it's a good idea. Alright, so I was going to do this on my camera, but I wanted to get this out there today considering what day it is. I have got to do something real quick and I will be right back. Alright, I also wanted to film this before the sun came in too bright, and I thought with the black and white, then that's kind of more appropriate. It's more nostalgic. And you've got those of you who haven't seen me with my hair down. Yeah, it's the gray's all underneath, and the dark is kind of salt and pepper, but it's not, it's more predominantly in the dark. But anyway, so when I was doing my other channel and I was deciding on how I wanted to approach this, when I was doing my other channel, I used to ask like a question of the day. So I'm going to ask you a question at the end of this video. And you can participate. It's up to you. You don't have to. I would like to do a possible giveaway for those of you who are interested. At the end of this, and I'm not going to say what it is. It'll be something to commemorate the day. If you're interested in possibly getting a little something from me, just random draw one lucky winner. It'll be just, it may be several winners. I don't know, but it's just going to be something, just a little special to commemorate the day. Those of you who are interested in talking about the event. So what I want to do is, if you notice by the title, what this video is going to be about. So I have two questions actually. And you can answer one, both, either one, doesn't matter. Where were you and what were you doing? This combined first question. On Tuesday, September 11th, 2001. The other question is, what are the 5 most memorable events during your lifetime? Now, my demographics, and I can say this because my demographics are 35 to 65 plus. So if you're at least 35, I know you've got to know at least some tragedies that have happened in your life, whether it's, and there's a lot. Where were you during, what are the most memorable? There's a lot of tragedies in my lifetime, but there's 5 that stick out. There's several others in the meantime. So I'm going to tell you my earliest memory. And I have mentioned this one before. We lived in California from, let's see, my sister was born in 73. So we lived in California from 69 to 73. And that was during the Manson murders. If you guys don't know, the Manson family, Charlie Manson just recently passed away, living his life sentence in prison. He was 80 something. But that's the first tragical memory that I have, because it was talked about when I was little. And our last name was Manson. If you watched my about the explaining the names, my last name was Manson. So we had to enunciate that we were not a Manson, we were a Matson. And my mother said that it was, people would give her strange looks when she'd go to the grocery store and she'd write a check or whatever. But anyway, that's my first memory. It's in our history. It's very widely talked about, but that's the first one that sticks out in my mind. The second one was when Elvis died. It was horrific. I was in the car. I want to say, I was either 7 or 8. and I heard it on the radio. We were sitting in a Piggly Wiggly parking lot. I was with my grandmother. She went inside to get some groceries, and back then, you could leave kids in the car and nobody gave it a second look. Of course, we know now that that was not a good idea, especially in the summertime. That's my washing machine. I apologize for it knocking. I wasn't even thinking about when I was filming this. I just knew I wanted to do it before the sun came directly in on me. I think I'm going to wait till the spin cycle's done. I'll come back to you because it's loud to me, so it's got to be loud. Only did. Sorry about that. Okay, so anyway, where was I? Yes. So Elvis, I remember that very, very distinctively. The next one I remember is the Space Shuttle Columbia. I remember how devastating it was because there was a teacher. Not that the other lives weren't important, but because there was a teacher on the space shuttle. I want to say I was in school at the time. I don't remember what year it was. I was either in school or I was at home when that happened. I believe I was in school. And then we were stationed in Fort Stewart, Georgia. That's near Savannah. If you guys don't know, between Huntsville and Savannah. We were living off base. My husband was in the military at the time. And I remember the Columbine shootings. That was very devastating. And all the school and church shootings since then, people are just going crazy. They're going nuts. I don't know. I'm sorry, this is such a depressing video. I don't make depressing videos, but I just feel like I wanted to share this with you guys. And I wanted to know your thoughts on it as well. So yeah. The next one, of course, this is more than 5, was the Clinton impeachment was around the same time. The whole Monica Lewinsky scandal. And please don't come at me and hate me, but I was a Clinton supporter. My grandparents were Clinton supporters. My thought on that, and it's a personal opinion, is he's the only president that got caught, and he lied under oath for it. We ain't even going to go about JFK and everybody else that has finagled in the White House. But since then, I think our presidents are under more scrutiny, and it will not be tolerated anymore. Especially after the Me Too movement, which is great. So, 9/11. That's the elephant in the room, right? Elephants. Where are they at? Oh, you can't see them. Elephants in the room. So the elephant in the room. 9/11. So where were you? 9/11. We were stationed at Fort Lewis, Washington. So we were 3 hours behind what happened on the actual event. It was on a Tuesday, September 11th, 2001. I was scheduled to have my gastric bypass surgery on the 19th. So it was a little more than a week before my surgery was scheduled, and I was a little nervous because they had shut down the base completely. We were still asleep in bed. I mean, it was like slumbering. I don't think he had to go in that day, or maybe I wasn't working at the time. Because I'd gotten laid off from working at AT&T. Great separation package, by the way. And then they wanted me to come back, and we were leaving. We were moving back to Tennessee at that point in January. But anyway, 2001 was a really bad year for me. It was also the year that, number 1, I had the gastric bypass. Number 2, my dad passed away. And him and his wife, my stepmom, lived out there. Love her to pieces. She's the only parental figure that's still alive in my life. Because I think I've told you guys before, my dad was 54 when he passed. My mom was 44. My stepdad passed, and I was really close with him too. He raised me from the age of 10 to 18. But yeah, wonderful people. Maybe one day I'll sit down and discuss how great my family is. As far as my parental figures, my mother struggled and went through a lot. But anyway, so 9/11, that's what we're here for, right? So my husband got the call because this is my ex-husband. I'm not married. Well, I'm kind of married, but that's another story. First ex-husband, who I was married to for 17 years, 12 years. I was an Army wife. So we were lying in bed. He got the call. And they're like, have you seen the news? You need to come in. You need to go ahead and put on your ODs and come on in. So as he's getting dressed, he's like, turn on the news, turn on the news. Well, we didn't have a TV in our bedroom, and the living room was on the other side of the apartment. So we got up and went in there and turned the TV on, and that's when we saw the first crash. The base had been put on lockdown. There was a fear that because we were under a terrorist attack, that Fort Lewis was a possibility of being hit next because we were on the West Coast. All the military bases were locked down, if I'm not mistaken. But so yeah, so he had to go in, and I remember that. And something else that sticks out in my mind, if you guys remember, one of the planes that hit the towers was, and those of you who don't know, if you don't live on the planet, if you don't know, they were the Twin Towers, the Sears Towers in New York City. One of the planes that hit was United. My uncle flied for United. The other plane that hit was American. His wife, my aunt, flew for American. So that was another instant thought that went through our heads. We were freaking out, going, where's my aunt and uncle? What's going on with him? Well, luckily, they were not involved, of course. They weren't flying that day. My uncle was out of the country because he is currently let's see if I get this right, brigadier general in the Air Force. I believe he's a brigadier general. He's high up there, like millions of bars on his shoulder, on his chest. But anyway, I've got a cute little story to tell you guys about me and my uncle when we were little, because he's only 8 years older than me, and that's so funny. I had told my cousin about it, and all my cousins are fairly young. My uncle Rick and my Aunt Mary had kids later in life, just like I did. So my mom and dad were 16 and 21 when they had me, or when they got married, and my mom she turned 17 on the 2nd and had me on the 26th of August. So yeah, so I was her love child, born the summer of love, by the way. But anyway, so yeah, everybody was calling the family. They were freaking out. What's going on? So that was very devastating. You know, we had the news on all the time because he was in the military. I was invested in CNN, not so much Fox News, because I'm not going to say anything bad about Fox News, but CNN was where I mostly watched that, and NPR News. So yeah. Because we were always wondering if he was going to go to war, or... Is that Ellie trying to get in? No. Okay. The cats have switched around. That would be Maddie walking. Anyway, I got to get my clothes in the dryer, but I just wanted to hop on here real quick and talk about that. So yeah, so yeah, leave me a comment below. Any comment's fine. I do want to give a commemoration for this. I'm not going to put that it's a giveaway in the title or the description or in the thumbnail, because I don't want it to be clickbait. I don't want you guys to think that I'm doing this for the views, or because I'm doing a giveaway or anything like that. I just wanted to share my experience, because I wanted you guys to share yours with me, if you would. I'd like to know I'd like to know your thoughts and where you were and what you were doing. And do you have a specific memory about this event or any event that you might have? I have several more, but this one I wanted to, because of the day, I wanted to get on here, and hence the reason why. No color, black and white. My hair's still wet because I just got out of the shower. And so yeah, so thank you guys for watching. I'll be with you later tonight probably. I have to film this, guys. Okay, so Midnight's trying to pick a fight with Boo Boo Kitty. She's not having it. And then we got Cinnamon down on the floor. He's wanting to jump up there. Now, he jumped up there a minute ago, and they both smacked at him at the same time. That was funny. Let's see if they'll do it again. They were like, well, stay out of this. That was just too funny. Y'all go. They're both wanting to sleep in the sun in the corner. This is the corner of the craft room. I have my tubs down there with my craft stuff in it, and I keep a blanket on there so they can lay out in the sun. I keep my whiteboard over there, so, I mean, that's not a whiteboard, it's a white box. And I cannot believe why did it do that? Oh, come on, focus. There we go. I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, I just thought it'd be funny to show you guys this. Oh, they're not going to do it now because they know I'm filming and talking to you. Maybe if I'm real quiet. He's wanting to come to me. Sometimes they can all lay in peace, but not today, apparently. No. Don't even think about crawling across this desk. I don't think I've ever showed you guys this desk. It's I don't say it's a 6-foot table. And my coffee and my list of what I want to talk about. So, okay, I guess they're not going to do a smackdown like they were doing a minute ago. Dang it, I wanted to show you guys what they were doing. It was so funny.